Hi everyone, this is Sunny Cadwallader, also known as CadChica, and welcome to my Tuesday 10. It is my second hangout, my first one live, so hopefully there are actually people out there watching. My Tuesday 10 is a quick 10-minute chat with people from throughout the sports industry, in media, social media, business, marketing, and that was one of my goals for 2014 was to start a hangout. It's similar to a video blog, and my guest today is my friend, my pro football guru myself. I go to him for all of my NFL knowledge and follow him on Twitter and Facebook. Russ, why don't you join in and introduce yourself?
Well, thank you very much, Sonny. First off, for inviting me, and second off, it's great to see you again. My name is Russell Baxter. I've been a writer, researcher for the NFL for more than 30 years. Been watching the game for about 45. Love what I do. Still waiting to figure it out if this is really a job. I know it's my work, but it's not. It's not really a job. Those of us who cover sports and watch football. Remember, we're the guys who are just sitting there doing nothing while everybody else is doing the work on the field. I keep that perspective very much in my mind all the time because I'm the viewer and I'm having fun. And I've had fun doing this for more than 30 years and continue to have fun. And now I've entered kind of a new realm, going back to writing, which is what I did, more than 20 years ago. And now really being involved in social media, which I'm finding to be an awful lot of fun.
So cool. Russ is one of the few tweeps that I've actually met in person. When I was doing some freelance stuff for ESPN, I was out in Connecticut. Russ is out in Connecticut. I'm like, all right, I got to meet him because he's just so fun and engaging and just a wealth of knowledge on the NFL and everything to do with it. So he was one of the first ones that I met. And how long how long did you work at because you worked at ESPN before, right?
Yes, I was with ESPN for, I like to say, a total of 22 football seasons. My role over the years changed and evolved as ESPN got more involved with the National Football League. My first season working with them as a freelancer was 1989. They had just signed the contract to start doing games in 1987 and the birth of NFL Primetime, which I got to work 17 years with Chris Berman and Tom Jackson doing live shows in the studio with them on Sunday. And if for people who remember Sunday Primetime, Robin Roberts was a part of it for a while, Bill Pito was a part of it, Stuart Scott, and then eventually it was just Tommy and Boomer. For people who remember that live show on a Sunday night after the games were over, it was an incredible amount of fun. The energy was amazing, and to be able to sit there with those two guys was just a lot of fun. They're good friends. I have enormous respect for what they do, and their passion matches my passion in the sense that they love what they do and I love what I do. So it was I was very fortunate to do that show. And again, I worked at ESPN for a total of 22 years. Doing various things, but it was all football. I was always involved in football, the NFL researcher coordinator for a long time. Before ESPN, I worked at College and Pro Football News Weekly in New York. I actually was doing both at the same time. People who are ESPN fans will remember a trivia show that was on TV called Stump the Schwab with a gentleman named Howie Schwab. And Howie Schwab was actually the person who hired me in New York to be a football editor at College and Pro Football News Weekly, and a couple years later was instrumental in me going to ESPN. But I left ESPN a couple of years ago, and now I'm writer for Bleacher Report, Yahoo, Cold Hard Football Facts, Pro Player Insiders. I have my own website called ProFootballGuru.com, my own Facebook page called Pro Football Guru. I like to tell people I love Twitter. I don't tweet 24/7.
Yes,
but I do tweet.
You're just about 24/7.
No, you see, I up the ante here, Sonny. I've developed a Twitter motto. I don't tweet 24/7. I tweet 26/9.
And that means
That means I'm on there constantly because I love the interaction with people who like to have a conversation. And you can have some really, really good conversations. One of the things I enjoy about Bleacher Report is the comment section after I write a piece where you can have dialogue back and forth. I believe social media is a great opportunity. And listen, there's with anything else, there's ups and downs and goods and bad. But I'm always a person who likes to look at the good, and I like the dialogue that you can have back and forth with people. Even sometimes when the dialogue starts out in kind of a negative tone, within 3 or 4 minutes, when you both kind of sort out what you want to say, wind up making someone, you have a great conversation with somebody.
Well, you're leading. I wanted to talk NFL first, but I think we're going with social media first because I respect what you have done with specifically Twitter, but you're also engaging on Facebook as well. But you are like the Friday follow king, and I've seen people follow me after you've included me. So thank you. I'm publicly thanking you for that. Even though I'm all over the place, I'm not just NFL. But you engage people, you share great content, and what I also like that you do is that you pay it forward. You're promoting others. You're letting your followers know about other people they may not have even come in contact with, and it's not just football. I mean, it's a wide variety of hashtags that you use for your Friday follow, and I think people see that you're genuine. And it's been great to see how that has also transferred to you making more radio appearances. Why don't you tell us about that as well?
Well, I've been very, very fortunate in that regard, and thank you. Those are incredibly kind words and coming from you, and I really, really appreciate that. I will say this about the Friday follows. To me, it's just a small way of saying thank you to all the people who are very, very supportive, who retweet my stuff, who read my stuff, who even just say hello and so on. I'm a big hello person, and I counted out. Even with the space, hello is only 6 characters. Okay, even with the space, thank you is 9. And
that's great. That's great.
Listen, if you want to blame somebody for something like that, you have to blame my mom because she was a person who always taught us to be very respectful and mannerly and say hello and say thank you and be gregarious. And I love being a gregarious person. And now you can, on Twitter and other social media, you can be quite gregarious. And again, the Friday follows thing is there are so many clever and smart, intelligent people out there.
Yes,
who aren't fortunate enough to, and I wish they would try a little harder sometimes, but this is a great opportunity for you to do something. I have, I'll have back and forths with people, fans who don't necessarily like what I write. I don't mean my personal fans. I'm talking about football fans.
Right.
But they may not write something I write and so on. And we'll go back and forth a little and so on. And I will say, well, you know what? Why don't you write something and I'll put it on my site? And I give them the opportunity to say, because sometimes that's all they're looking for. And I used to tell people all the time, as a writer, money is great. And I don't want you to get me wrong. We're all, we make a living.
Really? It's great?
Yeah, money is great. But for a writer just getting started, a byline is tremendous. Okay? A byline is very, very important. And it can be a launching point. When I first started writing, I did a lot of stuff where the byline was what I got. And that was fine because then people started to know what I do. And I always wanted people to know how enthusiastic I was about a game that I truly, really, truly love. And doing this for more than 30 years like I have, I still feel like I have the same passion I had when I first started watching football when I was a kid. It's always a kid in the candy store, and I'm very happy that people pick up on that because I want them to. Okay, and when this is not fun anymore, I'll disappear. Okay, but that means I won't. I just do something else. But as long as this is fun, this is what I'm going to continue to do. And the world of social media for me is opening up so many more new doors. And like you said, the radio, I do a lot of stuff with NBC Sports Radio, CBS Sports Radio, Yahoo Sports Radio, different podcasts across the country. Some regular spots with local radio stations. It's fun. You get to talk about football. How hard can it be?
Exactly, and I could probably talk to you another half hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours, 6 hours about football, but our time is almost up. This 10 minutes has flown by. We have about a minute left. Tell me about this weekend, if you can, in a minute or less, what you're watching, what you're looking for, and maybe one last shout out about where people can find you.
Well, I'll give you a quick thing. I'm looking for history from all four teams this week. Peyton Manning's going to attempt to become the third quarterback to start a Super Bowl with two different teams, and the first one to win one with two different teams. Tom Brady is attempting to become the first quarterback to start six Super Bowls, breaking a tie with John Elway. The Seattle Seahawks are looking for their first NFL championship. They've only been to one Super Bowl. And then the San Francisco 49ers going to attempt something, if they can win this week and then win the Super Bowl, that hasn't been done in over 40 years. Win the Super Bowl the year after losing the Super Bowl. The last team to do that was the 1972 Miami Dolphins. Now, if you want to hear more interesting and fun and trivial stuff like that, you can follow me on Bax Football Guru on Twitter. ProFootballGuru.com is the website where I put everything that I write goes on there. It's like a way station for all my writing. And the same thing with Pro Football Guru on Facebook.
Russ, I cannot thank you enough. Like I said, we could just talk for hours. I could pick your brain for hours. So everybody, be sure you follow Russ on Twitter at Bax Football Guru. Like he said, ProFootballGuru.com. And Russ, I thank you so much for being another guinea pig for me on my venture into Google Hangouts. So thank you very much.
Now, so this is called Tuesday 10, right?
Tuesday 10 for 10 minutes, because people's time is precious, and I just want to keep it nice, short, sweet, and we go from there.
Okay, well, when you do Thursday 20, you let me know. We can do even more.
Thursday 20, how about a Friday 5? We could just do quick stats and we're done. Let's see, Saturday 17 or something like that.
How about Monday month?
No. Thanks, Russ. I appreciate your help.
You have it, Sunny. It's great to see you and talk to you again.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.